G'day everyone. There's a common adage amongst the guitar pedal community which is rock it before you box it. Basically what that means is you want to test your effect before you put it inside an enclosure and wire it up for off-board wiring. I'm going to explain to you in a bit more detail as to what that actually means. When you build a guitar pedal, it's a good idea to break up the process into those two parts. You build the effect and you test it, and then you wire it up for off-board wiring inside the enclosure for true bypass. And 99% of guitar pedal projects you'll end up with 4 wires that you can test the effect on before you put it inside the enclosure. Like this effect here, you'd probably think, how the hell could you possibly get any sound out of that? Well, I can, because I can test it off those four wires. And as I said, 99% of projects out there are made this particular standard way so that you can test it. There's a couple of ways that you can test it. I have a diagram on my projects. If you go to my web store and click on any project, you'll see, and then click on the build instructions, go down, you'll see one of the pages says testing your effect. All you need is a battery snap and 2 mono jacks to test it, and you can confirm that your effect works correctly before you put it inside an enclosure. Because if you put this complicated device inside this enclosure and wire it up to the hardware without testing it, you're expanding the room for error. If you confirm that your effect works correctly before you wire it up inside an enclosure, you will basically be able to tick off the effect, yep, the effect works fine, and if there's a problem once you've wired it up, you'll know that it was something to do with your off-board wiring that was the problem. Just so you know also, because you may be new to building guitar pedals, you can get the off-board wiring diagram, so the diagram that shows you how to wire it up like this, from TonePad and TonePad's project list. There's one called Off-Board Wiring, and it's the 5th project in that list to wire it up for true bypass with a 3-pole double throw. Mad Bean Pedals has one on his project page, which is, I think he's worded it as standardized off-board wiring diagram or something like that. There's a link on that page. You can download that and wire it up the same. It's effectively the same thing. He just wires it up a little bit differently with his schematic. So if you don't rock it before you box it and you've got an effect that doesn't work, you're going to have to cut those 4 wires that come off the board. In this case, let's see if we can find them. I'll just zoom in. You can see there's a white cable going up to the switch there. That would be, I usually use white for output. Blue, that little blue one underneath the tip there, sort of near those 3 caps, just up a little bit, that goes up to the switch, that would be input. And we'll have a red and a black cable wire as well. The black one is up the top there, and the red one is just down the side there. You probably can't see it. So those, if your effect doesn't work, you've wired it up without testing it doesn't work, you're going to have to cut it out of here and test it externally. That's the only way to test it. You don't wire up your effect inside a pedal to test it. That is the wrong thing to do. You'll end up with a pedal that doesn't work and is practically impossible to fault diagnose, because you can't resolder a component when it's inside a pedal. You can't get access to the bottom of the PCB. It just makes it too difficult. So you want to make sure that you rock it before you box it. Test it before you put it inside an enclosure is what that means. And it's probably the most quintessential beginner advice I could possibly offer you. Make sure you listen to it and make sure you do it. I know testing the effect probably sounds like it's just more work to do and you're probably excited to get it working, but I can tell you I've seen so many threads start from people that start their first guitar pedal that don't rock it before they box it, and they end up with a pedal that doesn't work, and they just get so frustrated because they're stuck. They have an effect that's wired up inside an enclosure. They don't know how to get access to the components or how to fix it, just test it. Make sure you spend 10 minutes testing it before you put it inside the enclosure. Trust me, you'll want to do it, and it'll make your first guitar pedal much more enjoyable. Thanks for watching. I hope that little bit of advice helps you, and if you're going to build your first guitar pedal, good luck, and I hope you get it going, and yeah, follow that advice. Thanks for watching.